We have with us a very special guest, Mr. Bishow Parajuli. Thank you, sir, so much for joining us today. Leave no one behind is a very important goal, I think, for each one of us when we're talking about thriving and surviving together. Tell us, why do you think this theme is important?
Food is about basic rights, and food is fundamental. So leaving people behind to access food means the country is behind, the people are behind, the communities are behind, and the country will not progress until you have everybody together into it. The children need to be fed, the women need to be fed, the adults need to be fed, community, everybody needs food for their survival, growth, and food is also peace. Food is really fundamental for everybody, and working towards ensuring no one leaving behind is a wonderful steps and statement.
And like you said, if the women, children, they're all somewhere connected, right? Because if the mother is not healthy or malnourished, the child, that's how the intergenerational cycle, right?
Absolutely.
So I think you put that really well. If I can ask you, India is one of the largest producers of food grains, fruits, as well as vegetables with overflowing granaries. But despite that, 1/4 of the world's undernourished people live in India. I mean, what would you say? I mean, isn't that ironical?
Well, I would categorically say availability of food doesn't guarantee access to food. It's wonderful that India has excess food. Frankly speaking, if you remember 40, 50 years ago, India used to be dependent on food.
Today we
Had,
have surplus.
yeah, 40, 50 million tons, 60 million tons. Now India has 310 million tons. So bless the farmers, bless the right policies and program. So what we need to do is continuously making sure everyone is fed, so no one is left behind. And the government program of, Food Security Act, the Public Distribution Program, Midday Meal, Integrated Child Development Program are the blessing to start that. And also what is important to note in the context of India and many other countries is not everybody producing food, see? So there are landless farmers, others, so they need to buy it. So availability is important, and we have seen it during this whole time of, Ukraine war. The supply has been a major challenge globally. The price have doubled. Thanks God, India had surplus, and it helped many countries. So we need to work in ensuring everyone gets nutritive food going forward, and also, farmers have their market and good value for them produce, etc.
How can we address food security, nutrition, as well as climate change altogether?
It is absolutely possible, and we have to look for adaptation. We have to look for resilience building. We have to support those people who really need help, and government must have safety net program and interventions like public distribution or midday meal for children or nutrition package for women and children. So I would say initiatives like what India has in terms of safety net program are good example. Of course, there can be also effort of direct cash support, depending on context and situation. But the fundamental is adapting to the climate change and looking after the vulnerable with policies and program and laws like what India has, Food Security Act.
By improvising, like you rightly said. Just a last question I would like to ask you. 2023, year of millets. How can, I mean, of course, we see this exhibition. We all know how it's a superfood, good for our health as well as the environment. How can we make it available to each and every one? I mean, let me put it like, how can it be available on each one of our plates?
I think we need to bring awareness of this superfood. This is the number one issue. Traditionally, we used to eat this. And I remember as a child, really eating it. It has disappeared in production as well as in supplies. But when you look at the situation in India, in some of these states like Odisha, Rajasthan, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, they produce a lot of millets. but they have a concern of markets availability. Now, why not to have these superfoods included in the public distribution program for a midday meal program, a package for integrated child development program, and in fact, the World Food Program, we did a review of the work being done in Odisha. Great example. In fact, they have introduced this. The Chief Minister has introduced this millet in the public distribution program.
Reach many.
Exactly. So also, conscious people and references. I think if they help to promote this and bring awareness, there is a big influence by celebrities in India, Bollywood actors and actresses, anchor person like you, for example. I think we need those increasing efforts. So, and at the same time, we have to make sure the farmers get the good price for their produce, and there is a supply, and then there is awareness. Wonder can happen.
I'm sure the farmers would love to, they would, for them it's a produce, it's a crop, but it's awareness is the key so that each one of us know, how good it is, not only for, like I said earlier, not only for us, but also the environment. It will be more readily available.
But the issue is about millets. It needs less water.
Yes.
It grows up in arid zones. So where rice or corn, etc., will not come in. So therefore, it is a good alternative and good substitute to help farmers to continue to have income.